Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. I am going to tell you this, and this is what I am standing on. Majority of white men know what they are doing. The truth is that they know that some people are going to suffer in this administration. And at this point in time, they know that people are suffering, frankly speaking, but they will not do anything about it because that is what they supported. At some point, they will not even mind also being part of the suffering, but just to make sure that someone that look like them is on the throne. I said what I said. It is only from you people that I know that some people will rather suffer than see other people enjoy. This is it. And now JD Vance is saying that black people should be grateful to his Mr. Orange Man over Black Lives Matter. What is it that black people need to be grateful for? Because at this point in time, it is screaming, I am obsessed with these people, and if I don't talk about them, my life won't move forward. Because we need to know, is he the one that he goes around or go about looking for a way to drag black people outside, and black people already know his plans, and they said, no, we ain't coming out? It's really crazy. Well, I don't know what to be grateful for, but I am surprised that JD Vance at this point in time is not doing something to better the country, because this was how you people continue to drag Kamala Harris, and they are trying to tell us that it is going to be the same thing if Kamala Harris were to be the president. Let's get into this video.
So JD Vance really stood on stage with his whole chest and said that Black Lives Matter needs to thank Donald Trump. Thank him? For what exactly, JD? For showing us, again, that white entitlement has no shame? For rewriting history? Like we're too stupid to know what just happened in the past 6 months? Nah. Let's educate the senator from Hillbilly LG real quick. Trump literally signed an executive order banning DEI programs across all federal agencies, killing scholarships, black business programs, and anti-racism training. He erased decades of progress with a pen. In his One Big Beautiful Bill, Trump slashed housing aid, food assistance, Medicaid, and public school funding, programs that overwhelmingly support black and brown families. That's not policy, that's economic warfare. Trump's plan cuts billions from Medicaid expansion. In case JD forgot, black Americans make up a disproportionate share of Medicaid recipients, especially our elders, our disabled, and our working poor. He tried to quietly gut Title III funding from HBCUs in the budget, after parading around in 2020 pretending that he actually saved them. Nah, he didn't save us, he sold us a press release. Trump's team tried to block funding and propose zeroing out grants for the Smithsonian Black History programs, the same museum that tells the truth he's been trying to bury under Confederate statues and MAGA lies. And JD wants us to clap for all that? JD, you're asking of people who still healing from redlining, lynching, mass incarceration, and economic apartheid to applaud the man dragging us backward? You want Black Lives Matter to bow to Trump, a man who wouldn't even say our name when we were bleeding in the streets. Let me say it slow for the folks in the back. We are not your mascots, we are not your props, and we are not your political pawns. Trump spent his presidency and now his comeback tour feeding white grievance, lying about slavery, rewriting Jim Crow, and calling anything pro-black un-American. Meanwhile, JD is standing on the rubble of our progress yelling, "Where's my thank you?" That's like a burglar asking for 5 stars on Yelp after robbing your house. JD, don't ask black folks to thank Trump. Ask Trump to stop attacking us. Ask him why he's obsessed with erasing our history, starving our communities, and silencing our voices. Ask him why he keeps hugging the Confederate flag while preaching law and order to us. And if you really cared about black lives, you wouldn't be demanding praise. You'd be demanding justice. Until then, take your caucasity, wrap it in that tired red hat, and sit all the way down. Let me say this as clearly as I can, because this propaganda that you keep repeating is dangerous and flat out disrespectful. Kamala Harris is not Donald Trump. Joe Biden is not Donald Trump. And Barack Obama is definitely not Donald Trump. And if you keep comparing them like they're the same, you either don't know what you're talking about or you've been manipulated by the same system that wants you to see democracy fall. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about. Donald Trump is a criminal defendant, a chronic liar, and an authoritarian threat to democracy. He tried to overturn an election. He praised white supremacists. He stole classified documents. And he's pushing a 2025 agenda that looks more like a dictatorship than a presidency. Kamala Harris, she's a former DA, an attorney general, a senator, and a vice president. This woman spent her entire life working within the law, not breaking it. She was fighting for consumer rights, civil rights, and criminal justice reform long before some of y'all knew who she even was. But somehow, because she's a strong, black, South Asian woman, she gets labeled just as bad as Trump. Stop with the bullshit. That's not fucking analysis. That's misogyny and racism dressed up as critique. Y'all like to talk DEI. Well, let's talk qualifications and merit, right? Kamala Harris is arguably the most legally and politically qualified vice president this country has ever had. She's argued cases, written legislation, and held power in the Senate. She knows the Constitution better than Trump's entire legal team. Meanwhile, Trump couldn't even pass a basic civics test. He sure as hell doesn't respect the law. And don't even try that both parties are the same bullshit. You know what we got under Biden and Harris? Record job growth, the lowest black unemployment rate ever, student loan debt relief, lower prescription drug prices, historic black female judicial appointments. Now look what we're getting from Trump. Alcatraz prison, bombings in Iraq, World War III, January 6 pardons, defunding of Medicaid, housing, education, attack on public universities and schools, attacks on Democratic senators, Democratic judges, unlawful militarization of our troops, racism, misogyny, lies, propaganda, higher drug prices, higher food prices. The list goes on and fucking on. These are not the same fucking people. They're not even the same fucking values. And this isn't the same America. The biggest sin that Kamala has ever committed was being a brilliant, powerful brown woman in a country that still hasn't healed from its addiction to white male dominance. That's the truth. And the folks who keep saying Trump and Kamala are the same, you need a history book, a psychiatrist, or both. This ain't about liking everything a politician does. It's about recognizing the difference between imperfection and pure evil. Between someone who works within the system to make progress and someone who wants to burn the whole fucking system down and then crown himself a king. So if you still think that Kamala Harris is just as bad as Trump, you're not informed. You're infected with propaganda. And the cure is truth, history, and some damn common sense. This past election was never about a personality contest. It was always a battle between democracy and dictatorship, between fucking progress and oppression. Stop comparing them and start fucking defending what's real.
The Senate bill passed, and I want you all to remember every single individual that said Kamala Harris would do the same things, different sides of the same coins, because those people, those are the folks that led us to this point. The dismantling of USAID, the loss of access to healthcare for millions of Americans now, the continued engagement in war across the globe. I want you to remember those people that put us in this position, because to say I am infuriated would be an understatement. It is absolutely disgusting that we are in this place, but we are in this place because there were people, yes, they are still on this app running their mouths, that did everything they could and helped this president to do what he just did. Got him in office and gave him a House and a Senate to do it with. And if you are not disgusted today, most certainly you have no shame. For those of us that recognize that this is a travesty, we need to be mobilizing to make sure people vote in the midterms. It has only been 7 months, and it has been chaos ever since.
I'll try to summarize this as best I can. It'll probably turn into a fucking rant. The same people that were complaining when Kamala and Biden were in power about, well, why are they bringing immigrants into the country on top of giving them means to jumpstart a life or a career in America, like whether it be a work visa or the incentives they got when they came over here under that app, whatever the fuck. The people that were mad about that, basically complaining that, oh, if the federal government has enough money to do this, why can't they help my community or do something about the homelessness or yada yada. They had, right? Do you remember that? They're okay with alligator Alcatraz. They're okay. Look at the dollar amount it costs to deport this many fucking people. House this many fucking people. Arrest this many fucking people. House was a terrible term to use. Kidnap and keep them at these deportation centers, aka modern day concentration camps, right? So when it's the government spending money to bring these people into the country to start a quality life in America and live a better life than what they were coming from, they have a problem with it. But when government money is spent to arrest and put these people in inhumane conditions, on top of deporting them by the thousands, on top of ignoring the costs it takes to deport them in this fashion, on top of the fact that even the ones who came here legally are being hawked down, on top of the illegal ones, even though that they haven't committed a single fucking crime, and the Trump administration told us that they were going after the violent criminals so that all of his stupid supporters would just yell and clap and be okay with it and ignore the fact that they are in fact not only going after the violent fucking criminals, right? So when the government is spending money in a way that allows you to show your hatred and your racism and your prejudice, that's fine. But when the country is bringing in immigrants and making the country less white, more diverse, better, because they're coming here and fucking working, you idiots, then it's a fucking problem. That is why these people get so uncomfortable and so worked up and all this shit when you bring up race, because they're fucking racist. If somebody came up to me and said, oh, you don't like white people, I said, what you mean? I've been fucking white bitches for some time now. Had one in my life, a very special one in my life for quite some time now. How could you say that? And then I would shrug it off and go on about my day. There's evidence behind my rebuttal. And I don't need to concern myself or dramatize the situation or get uncomfortable. An accusation was made. I know who I am. I also have a plethora of evidence to fucking back that up. So why would I be all, no, I love white people, I swear. Don't bring it up. Please, don't make it a topic. Don't keep the conversation going. Please, I love white people. Why would I be so defensive about it? I'd be like, no, I fuck with white people and going about my motherfucking day. But anytime you bring up race, to them, it's, oh, you're race obsessed. There you go, bringing up race again. Everything has to be about race with you, doesn't it? Oh my God, it's always a fucking problem because they don't want to talk about their fucking racism. That's all it fucking is. Somebody who's not racist has no problem talking about fucking race and racism. It's that fucking simple. You're not racist. Racism and race is the topic. You feel no fucking uncomfortable, whatever the fuck, about any of it. But you're fucking racist and you don't want people to know, and the topic is race and racism? Of course you're fucking uncomfortable. The fuck are we talking about? Like, it's just so in your face. It's why you'll notice on my page, you don't see many other faces besides mine. I don't readily have the patience, energy, time, whatever the fuck, to stitch and debate MAGA when we're talking about something this blatantly simple. When they were doing all the BLM stuff, when they were painting the pavement and shit, like it was, oh, the federal government has money to do all this stuff for black people, why don't we ever get it? It was an issue when they spent the money that way. That was a positive experience for a minority, for a race that you fucking hate. But then when the money is spent in a way that allows you to voice or show your racism, your hatred, you're all for that. Oh, this is what I voted for. This is great. Legal immigrants rounded up and sent to alligator Alcatraz. Don't give a fuck about where they're sent to. Thank God they're gone. Whole time you're going to be paycheck to paycheck. You're going to be struggling financially. You will not reach financial freedom. I don't say that in a way to make it seem like you're not capable of shit. I'm saying that in a way because for some reason your dumbass thinks that Donald Trump is going to hand you and your generations afterwards financial freedom on a silver fucking platter after he already didn't do it the first 4 times, after we still don't have a motherfucking wall. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm the weird one who looks at people sideways as they actively support a motherfucker who told them there would be a big Great Wall built by Mexico in 2016, damn near a decade ago, and ain't nothing there. God forbid. I want people to question the man they're supporting. Fuck a political argument. Y'all are weird as shit. There should never be a point in time where there is this much absence of logic and this heavy of a dose of fucking hypocrisy that people can absorb all of that and then say, yep, this is what I voted for. It's not. It's not what you voted for, because that motherfucker announced today talking about, oh, our next move is so we can deport American citizens. There's a lot of bad people who have been here for a long time, and I want to get them the hell out of my country. The guy you voted for, those are his words. The same motherfucker that said, oh, well, we have some domestic terrorists. The Democrats are enemies, yada, yada, yada. You voted for American citizens to get deported? Oh, but it won't be the American citizens you care about, right? So your black friend that is left-leaning and damn sure would never vote for Donald Trump, he's safe, right? If you lived in a reality where he got arrested and deported under this fucked up Trump administration, that's what you voted for? No, it's not. You just don't give a fuck until it literally affects somebody that you speak to on a regular basis. Do you know how fucking weird that is? I don't speak a lick of Spanish. I love this fucking interpreter app. But I don't need to know their native language and have Spanish-speaking friends and talk Spanish every day to Spanish-speaking people to give a fuck about the goddamn immigration. I don't need to be actively involved and engulfed in somebody else's world to give a fuck about them and their situation. Y'all do, and you're the weird one for that. Look at how California cleaned up San Francisco when that world leader visited. Look at how fast they can do that. How do they have the money to do that? Why don't they just use that and help the homelessness long term? Those same motherfuckers. Hell yeah, alligator Alcatraz is perfect. I love it. Financial freedom is a fucking pipe dream for the vast majority of this country, but they want to increase the ICE budget to $40 billion. Let's not forget the argument of should kids get free lunch? Should kids get free lunch is a fucking argument. Meanwhile, you have multimillionaires and billionaires in the fucking federal government telling you that they need more money, and that's why Doge is necessary to go find all this fraud and waste, because they need more money. They're about to get ginormous fucking tax cuts, but the argument is, do kids need free lunch? They want you to scream, greatest country in the world, I'm a proud American, while they argue about kids getting free lunch, but spend an ungodly amount of money on inhumane deportation centers and ICE and all this other bullshit. I'm sorry. I want to be proud of a country that, I don't know, feeds its fucking kids. I'm the weird one. I'm the weird one for questioning a country that wants to debate whether kids should get free lunch or not. Okay. All right. Sure.
When our country elected a convicted felon to be the president of the United States, I was disappointed, but I wasn't surprised. When the government started sending masked men to snatch brown people off the streets, I was disappointed, but I wasn't surprised. We're getting rid of the criminals and they show up at school graduations. These immigrants are lazy and then they show up to their jobs. Just do things the legal way and they show up to their immigration court proceedings. Disappointed, but not surprised. This bill that they're currently pushing is going to remove access to medical care for somewhere between 15 and 20 million people in America. 36% of Medicaid recipients are children. 20% of Medicaid recipients are disabled or elderly. 40% of those recipients are white. And I know what you're asking, Sai, why would Republicans, why would white people support a bill that negatively affects so many groups that they claim to care about? Well, historically, Republicans have been staunchly against any policies that will help everybody or the overwhelming majority. If you propose a policy that will positively affect most people in America, Republicans will shoot it down every time. Because there are some groups of people that they explicitly do not believe should have better lives. And that is, for the most part, just brown people and poor people. So if a policy is proposed, even if it benefits poor white people, if it also benefits brown people, they're not going to like it. So the reason why so many support this bill is because they believe this bill will disproportionately affect undocumented immigrants that are on Medicaid. One, undocumented immigrants are not eligible for Medicaid. They do have access to something called emergency Medicaid, which is different. It's not that's not being affected by this bill, but they don't have access to our regular Medicaid. Two, even if they did, there's not 20 million undocumented immigrants here. By the way, and I cannot stress this enough, and it bears repeating all the time, it is not against the law to be an undocumented immigrant. Being here undocumented is not a crime. It's not illegal. We just call them illegals so that it doesn't feel as bad when we treat them inhumanely. But it's not illegal to be here undocumented. It's a civil infraction. For those of you who don't know what a civil infraction is, that's like if your ID expires, right? That's a civil infraction. You don't get arrested for it. It's not a crime. It's not a criminal offense. When you're seeing people getting tackled and ripped apart from their families, it's over a civil infraction. Still, even with all of that, even with the bill, I was disappointed, but I wasn't surprised. What has surprised me more than anything that's happened this year is how the fuck did Diddy get found not guilty? What? He blew up someone's car. Everybody everywhere knows he did it. That's crazy to me. Rich people dodging the law shouldn't surprise me. Diddy was dodging like the FBI. He sent decoy planes out of the country. He was on some evil spy villain shit. He dodged the RICO. How? Anyway, hug your loved ones. Donald Trump's been threatening to remove the citizenship of naturalized citizens here who have not broken the law. And if he can do that, then he can just remove the citizenship of anyone he doesn't like. Because who's going to stop him? You get what I'm saying? If he can just remove the citizenship of other politicians, who can stop him? Do y'all know what a dictatorship is? Maybe I don't actually know what it is. Maybe that's the problem. That's my take on it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
This is all I got from this video, and very big shout out to all these young men. They came out really pretty, very ready. I love to see black men doing their thing. Now let me start with this admin. Okay, you and I don't even need to start. You and I already know that everything is a wreck at this point in time. But then seeing this man, what JD Vance saying that our black lives should be grateful to who? Grateful. I don't know if I want to cry or okay, I have to laugh. Oh, holy moly. Ah. Hey, we should be black people should be grateful to who? We should celebrate Trump. For what? For what? For making black life miserable, right? That you people do not have shame, because at this point in time, it is showing that you all do not have shame. You see, this administration has actually shown me that these people will actually stand on bad business and stand firmly and strongly. Because if all these people that matter in United States come out, especially the business men, the people that, when it comes to every country, there are people that have to say, come out and say, what is going on is not okay. Trust me, everything at this point in time, this man will look back, but nobody is actually, they are not saying anything. So it means they are fine with everything going on. How can you be fine with people being maltreated, going through a tough time? Do you know what he has done to black community, most especially in just a couple of months, like from one to another to another to another, looking for a way to bring them out to protest? No, they are still not coming out. Well, it's really amazing that JD, I thought he's dumb, when I mean, the deaf and dumb. Those people that don't, because so far I have not heard his voice as a vice president. A vice president that should be up and doing. Why is he not up and doing? Why is he not checkmating his president? Why is he not advising his president? Because he is the vice president and he has all the power to checkmate everything going on in that White House. Yes, he has the power. Don't ask me anything. Do I know politics or do I know I know. I know what I am saying. Is that not what they expected Kamala Harris to do? Why did they wake up one day to go and Iran? Why? And you are there watching him do it. You are a partaker. You are a decider. You know? You are saying black people should be grateful. Oh, I never knew. I never knew black people should be grateful for saving them. Saving them from what exactly? You know, they wake up every day to gaslight themselves from banning DEI because anything that got to do with black people is just crazy. Black businesses, scholarship, nothing. The racism on black people is like going up every day, and black people should be grateful. Grateful for what? Are we talking about the house aid and the ugly big bill they just passed? Black people should be grateful. Now, if I hear one more time that somebody's out there saying that, oh, Kamala Harris would have been shut up, and don't be a victim. Shut up. You don't know what you are saying. That woman had plans. And nobody in the comment section she doesn't have. Did you not see her manifesto? Did you not see her manifesto? That she knows what she wanted to do. Especially for black men. She got plans. Gouging, she got plans. Housing, she has plans. Buying new houses, she has plans. Migrant, she has plans. I saw her manifesto. For those that will say, oh, yes, I saw it. Have I not been saying it here before the election and after the election? How do you want to compare? So what was his politics? You all saw that in Project 2025. It was suffering. And you all bought into the suffering. So let me not hear that she had something to say. Yeah. And when you talk about it, they say you are mad or crazy about race. What do you mean? Was America, is it not only in the United States that people are being identified by their races? Other people is nationality, right? Like if you ask me, where are you from? I will tell you, somebody will say, I am Ghanaian, I am Nigerian, but it's only United States you identify by race. So black people will have to talk about it still. It is only in sorry, but I have to say this. With everything going on, the money they use in bimbing Iran, the money they use in building alligator Alcatraz. This is money that will feed children. But they say children, there is no need for them to feed. Why would they feed? Why would they eat? Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. This administration the economy is booming. You all can see how great it is booming. Because when you go to Dollar Tree, I am sure some people, because Dollar Tree is also selling the same thing as other people are selling. Walmart, Target, anyway, my people don't go to Target anymore. Bye for now.